So good evening to all and welcome to this session by the All India Educators Forum. So we are going to have a great session today for you students and for you dear teachers. We have four wonderful people with us. Meenakshi Narula ma'am, the principal of Shamrock Futuristic K-12 School. We have Sudipta Chatterjee ma'am and Livona Banerjee ma'am from DPS Akepuram, and Rekha Raj ma'am, who is a great resource person. She has her own training, Tuesha's training tax. Okay, so welcome to this session, and I'm sure, dear students, you're going to enjoy this session today, where we are going to share tips and tricks and techniques to make use of your time and how get good marks. There has been a lot of problems, I know, because of the online sessions, but at the same time, there is no choice but to give an examination. So it's not only the board exams, we're going to concentrate on all the classes. These tips are going to really help you. So I'm going to start straight away with today's program, and I'm going to welcome our first speaker for the day, Dr. Meenakshi Narula ma'am. Welcome ma'am to the show, and she's, as I told, she's the principal of Shamrock Futuristic K-12 school, which is in UP, and she's the recipient of many innovative teacher awards. You will be surprised with the baggage of awards she has already been honored with, and she has been honored with a doctorate in education for her achievements in the field of education. It's a privilege, ma'am, to have you, and I'm sure, dear students and dear teachers, that you're going to enjoy this session as much we will be enjoying hosting this session for you. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, sir, for the wonderful session. And a very good evening to all of you, all the listeners, the students, the parents, as well as the educators. Myself, Meenakshi Narula, as sir has already given a brief introduction about me. So, here in today's session, I would really like to talk, as the name's already a topic is study techniques. Now, the exams, they are coming up. Just only a few months are left. 31st December 2020. We got, I even shared these words online also on that India TV that day while being live. Like, it's a wonderful gift given to all of us by the education minister. Like, he has given us at least 4 months for a proper preparation. We can have a proper mindset. Even I have seen some of the schools have also started opening. Maybe not for all the students, maybe just for having enrichment classes. For the revision classes, the children, they are going to their schools. And today, I'm just going to share a few tips with all of you so that you can plan your study accordingly, so that you can revise your syllabus accordingly and get good marks, score good marks. Though I do not always say that marks matter a lot, marks do matter, but obviously, when you will prepare well, when you will understand each and every topic, nobody can stop you from getting good marks. So, here, as you might have already heard about, that practice makes a man perfect. This is a rightly proverb said. So, the more we practice, the more perfect we become. Regular practice is actually required. It's in every field, whether we're talking about, you see, sports, whether we're talking about any of the household chores as well. Maybe a mama cooks in kitchen, okay? She also becomes perfect with a lot of practice, a lot of innovation. Okay, so likewise, you people, you students, you also require a lot of practice. Now, how are you going to do the practice? It's just not repetition of whatever you have learned throughout the year. It is just not mugging up. It's not cramming. It's about study techniques, the strategies that are going to help you get good marks, that are going to help you understand in a better manner. And for that, number one, the first thing that you require is proper time management. You should plan your time accordingly. You are having 4 months, sufficient time. You have to divide it accordingly, make a proper timetable. And I would suggest you should make your own timetable. Do not be dependent upon others, because you see, we are making the timetable as per our body requirement. Some students would love to study at night, some students love to study during the day, or Obviously, some people, they are having, you see, they can sit for hours and study. Okay, some can study just digest in chunks only. So you have to plan the timetable as required, as your body allows, right? So timetable is very much required for that. You should take proper in between gaps should be given, right? Drink plenty of water, hydrate yourself, that is very much required. What happens is, you see, winter season is going on, and what do we people do? We just do not take water maybe the throughout the day, most of us. Okay, even I'm amongst those people. So what do we have to do? We have to keep a water bottle with us to keep us hydrated, because exams, they're going to give us a lot of stress also. Sometimes it happens, and that is natural too. So we should take a lot of water, plenty of water, and hydrate ourselves. That is really very important. Okay, this is all about time management. And now coming to how we are going to do it. Okay, another thing is your textbooks reading, or maybe your notes. That has been noticed. Even I have noticed in my school, for my students, as last year they used to make the notes, this time most of the students, they have not prepared their handwritten notes. The notes are of very much importance. Whatever we write with our own hands in our own language, that really going to give us much benefit as compared to the ready-made notes that are circulating now and then in all the WhatsApp groups, on emails, on social media, everywhere. You see, we have to make the notes in our own language that we understand. Because when we are talking about, like, every child is unique, all the fingers are not alike even. We have our own study strategies, we have our own study patterns. Some children sit alone and then they study. And some students, they discuss with each other, they talk to each other, and by listening, they understand better. And some of you might be able to understand through visuals more. The more you understand, maybe when you make your own mind maps, when you create your own concept maps, then you understand better. Some of us are linguistic in nature. We love to read a lot, and then we understand. So this is how, you see, sometimes we love to watch YouTube videos. There are some students who would love to watch YouTube videos or maybe another visuals, okay, and then they understand better. So you have to first of all check out, identify your learning style, and accordingly you should make your timetable. Accordingly you should start studying. Everybody cannot study in a similar way. Everybody's learning style, the study strategy cannot be similar, cannot be same. Okay, you have to choose your own study pattern. And another very good technique to understand, to remember, even I used to do it during my childhood, is through mnemonics. Now what are mnemonics? Most of you must be knowing. You must have already studied when your teachers have taught you, my very elegant mother just served us noodles. Now, what is this? Obviously, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So, this is how we learn the sequence of the planets. So, can we create our own mnemonics? This would be really very great if we can create our own mnemonics. Even if you go and Google it, you will find a lot of mnemonics. Through mnemonics, you will understand better. Even you see the elements of the periodic table, there are number of mnemonics available. Even through a song, you will be able to understand, you remember all the elements of the periodic table. So this is how you're going to learn and retain the things for a longer period of time. Please make your proper diagrams, pictures, figures, concept maps, mind maps, graphic organizers, whatever suits you. And just move from simple to complex. Do not at all worry about the papers. Just relax. And because you have already studied everything throughout the year, actually, though it was different, it was a unique year, I would like to say, You all have studied through online platforms only, right? So, but still, I would even like to add over here, talking about the teachers as well. Now, they are having so many wonderful tools to enhance the revision process for all of you. Earlier, what we were doing, we were just talking, we were discussing in the class itself, you were revising, taking tests, UTs, what all. We were doing all these things. But now, there are number of tools. Even in my school, the teachers are using, I have made them use 25 plus digital tools for revision. You're having Padlet, you're having Mentimeter, so many wonderful tools to enhance your understanding. You can make some kind of, you can have your Wakelet is a wonderful tool where you can gather all of your resources. Padlet is an amazing tool where you can have your all the resources at one place. And even I would like to say, as I'm speaking right now, if I have to present somewhere, if I have to learn something, what will I do? I'll speak it once. We all are having our smartphones. We can record our voice. And when we are doing our another activities, maybe because exercise is also very important, you see, exercise, walking, little bit, we have to do during our examination time as well. And during that, we can even play our recorded videos, our recorded voice, whatever we are recording, we can listen to it time and again. So I won't take much time, but still quickly would like to say there are 5 hours mantra. There is 5-hour mantras for revision. Number one, you need to read. Read every topic carefully. And even when you are reading, there are strategies for reading as well. 2 main strategies that when we are talking about, that is skimming and scanning. Right now, skimming is when, like, you must have seen people reading the newspaper. They just quickly read the whole paper, maybe within 5-10 minutes. How can they read? Because they are just understanding the concept, what exactly it is all about. They're not reading each and every word. So sometimes this is also very important at the time of revision. Now, scanning is when you read something to find out some kind of figures or the words that are really very important. Like, for example, when you are learning history, you have to remember the dates. So quickly you have to scan through the text and remember all the dates, okay, that are also very important. And second R is reflect. Whatever you are reading, you need to ponder over what have you read, and you should try to understand. And then third R, you need to recite whatever you have learned, you have read, you have reflected, then you recite in your own language without looking at the concept. And fourth R is review. Just review what you have read. Draw it diagrammatically through figures, through mind maps and concept maps, and just put it on your study table. You can see my display board. I put everything over here because it reminds me whatever I have read. We'll keep on changing your display board. And the last R is recall. Recall what you have read, because human tendency, we are going to forget what we have read, what we have learned. So what you have read the previous week, please do recall. What you have read a fortnight ago, you have to again recall it. So this is how I end my today's talk on study strategies, and definitely would like to say revision is going to give you a great reward. It is going to give you a great reward. What kind of reward? The wonderful marks, the great marks that you all want. Thank you, Matthew, sir. Sir, I can't hear you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am, for the mantras. I really loved the mantras that you gave, the read, review, recall. What so wonderful. I mean, it's so easy. Students need to plan out, and considering the first statement that you made, the board exams have been extended, which is actually good news for those students. And some people said, sir, I haven't even started studying. So there is so much time now. And this is the time now we can start. And, those who have been studying, good for them also to get better and better with the sample papers. And so thank you so much, Meenakshi ma'am, for sharing those wonderful thoughts for the kids as well as for the educators, the revision plans, the digital tools. all those made real sense, and I'm sure our listeners, our students are going to watch this video not only live but later on also they are going to review this and use it in their practical life. So thank you so much once again. Our second speaker is Sudipta Chatterjee ma'am. She is an English teacher, PGT English from the prestigious DPS RK Puram in New Delhi. So welcome Sudipta ma'am, and I would like you to talk on considering the pandemic times, I think the students had a really bad time, considering they were not used to this. It came as a bolt from the blue from somewhere, and we were not prepared at all for this. So there was a lot of stress involved, I believe. Initially, I think they got used to it, but gradually they realized that this is going to stay, and there was a lot of stress, probably because there was unemployment in the house and there was sickness all around. They could not go out, so they were confined to their four walls. So in that stress situation, do you think that studies is possible, or what are the steps that you would suggest to remain calm and get going? Because ultimately there is no stopping for life. Life has to go on. So what steps can you suggest for kids who are under stress, or in general for students to remain calm and to go for their exams?
Thank you, Matthew, sir. And it is an absolute honor to be part of such an erudite group of panelists. So today I'm going to be talking about stress. And stress is a word which has become synonymous with the modern world. And how to deal with stress. So perhaps a couple of tips and techniques which would help us deal with stress maybe a little better. So I'm sure all of you have heard of this very famous saying that stressed spelled backwards is desserts. So while chocolates can help you de-stress, but then that's a very temporary solution, correct? Because we don't want to balloon up and be horizontally challenged. And therefore, we need to look at perhaps a couple of more long-lasting solutions to handle stress. So let's see if we can make stress into an acronym. So STRESS, right? So sit, train, relax, exhale, socialize, and sleep. So when we get all these words together, it's stress, but it will actually help you deal with stress and perhaps be a lot more positive in your approach and attitude. So let's discuss the first acronym, S for sit. Well, like Pablo Neruda in the poem Keeping Quiet says that you need to introspect, and trust me, he actually makes sense. We need to take some time out and introspect. And what do I mean by introspect? Take some time out to understand yourself. Plan, think, decide, and see if you can come up with perhaps a timetable that's going to help you. So Dr. Meenakshi also just mentioned the importance of having a timetable and, well, sticking to it. So we as educators, teachers, parents, we too have a timetable that we are following. We might not necessarily be, jotting things down, but you see, mentally, all of us have a timetable in mind, which we need to follow. So that brings me to my second acronym, that is T for train. So we need to remember what George Harrison, the famous lead guitarist of the British band Beatles, said. He said, it's all in the mind. And that is so true. We need to train our mind to know how to deal with stressful situations, those feelings when you feel, a lot of negative energy coming up. How do we deal with that? And remember, procrastination is something that it's not just William Shakespeare's Hamlet faces. Procrastination or postponement, like we call it, is something that all of us are indulging every day. So we need to not procrastinate so much, not think that, okay, I'm going to do this tomorrow, but plan and think that, okay, what is it that I can do today and accomplish so that I have more time tomorrow to figure things out. So which brings me to my next point, which is time management. Time management, I know it's something that everybody keeps talking about, but how do you manage your time? So that is something absolutely unique to you. You need to know how to juggle things, balance it out, because you will find a lot of your friends who seem to be doing everything and you wonder, okay, do they actually have 24 hours or do they have 48 hours in one day? But you realize that these are the people who are very good with managing their time. They know exactly what to do when, and therefore they're able to juggle things up. Also, it's important. We as students, I've done that myself. We tend to always pick up our favorite subject and study that. So my favorite subject, well, back in school was English, and well, I'm an English teacher now. That explains it. So back in school, I used to always think that, okay, I love English, so let me finish doing my English syllabus, and then I can focus on something else. But what happens is something that you're good at and something that comes naturally to you wouldn't take you much time. But a subject like, I found mathematics challenging. So a subject like mathematics, I would always feel like, no, I should keep it for later. That doesn't help. You need to first tackle the subject which you feel is a challenging one, or something that you're not very comfortable with, because then you have more number of days to prepare for that. So that brings me to my third acronym, which is R, which stands for relax. You need to take some time out and relax, which is very essential. And it is something that all of us need to do, right? Even though we might be at home, but we need to take that time out to, just sort of rejuvenate ourselves, energize ourselves, which is very essential. So individually also we can do it. Like, if you think of Harry Potter, well, he also uses the Patronus charm, right? So think of it as a metaphor. And he uses that charm to, well, fend off all the Dementors. So that's exactly what we need to do. We need to think of something happy. He thinks of happy thoughts, things that make him absolutely cheerful. And that helps him to deal with that challenge. Similarly, in life too, we need to go to that happy place, which will make us feel at ease completely. So let me just do a quick activity with all of you. So just look around yourself, look around your room, and see something that, well, makes you feel happy. Could be a souvenir, could be a photograph, could be a book. So I see this one painting, which a very dear friend of mine got for me from Egypt, and it's of King Tutankhamun. So the minute I see it, it just makes me feel happy. The fact that my friend, well, thought of me when I was in Egypt, or when she was in Egypt, and she decided to bring this for me. And that just makes me feel really happy. And well, also, I then think of, well, in future sometime, I need to visit that happy place, perhaps Egypt, if I get that opportunity. And just the thought makes me happy. So all of us need to find that. And maybe I can quickly ask our panelists. Matthew, sir, would you like to share? What do you see around your room? And what is it that makes you happy?
Well, I am very happy to see my vision board. That is where I post some good things. And whenever I enter the room, that's the first thing I see. Okay, that's the target that I have to achieve. So it keeps me pumped up. So that I like my board.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Meenakshi ma'am, would you like to share what you see around your room and that makes you happy?
Well, certainly, as my choice is also whatever I'm going to set is absolutely similar with Mr. Matthew, sir, because I just love my display board. This is my study corner. I just love it. I keep on changing the things as per my requirement. Right now, you can see I have put it 6 thinking hats because that is a very problem solving strategy, very wonderful strategy. So I just keep on changing it, maybe inquiry based learning. So I love this area.
Thank you for sharing, Meenakshi ma'am. Levana ma'am, would you like to share what you see around your room?
Oh, yeah. Yes, thank you for asking this question. Actually, I have a cupboard that sometimes it spills out. There are a lot of books to be arranged. There are a lot of other things that is stuffed in. So that is quite de-stressful for me when I keep on arranging things right back into the place. So that's a source of encouragement and sustenance both. I see it and then I start with my work. Strategize, plan.
Also, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right. Rekha ma'am, would you like to share? I think your microphone is on.
Ma'am, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I could see my daughter sitting right in front of me and encouraging me because it's a live show. So maybe she feels maybe we'll just get a little stress. So wherever we find she's, Mama, you can do it. Mama, you can do it. Okay, fine, go. So she's a source of inspiration. She's a source of smile too. I could see her.
How wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear panelists, for sharing that. So yes, dear students, so find that happy place and think of activities that you can do individually or collectively. That's going to make you happy. It could perhaps even be, sitting with your family members and, watching something on Netflix, or even watching the test match between India and Australia, but that's for a longer duration of time. But yeah, try to find something that makes you absolutely happy. Right, that brings me to my next acronym. That's E for exhale. So not just the anulom vilom, but when I'm saying exhale, exhale out all the negative energy, all the inhibitions, all the feelings that make you feel dejected, unhappy. Just let go of them. That's very essential. And you see, all of us are using all these apps. Like InShot is one app where we sort of trim out the audio and video, right? Similarly, you need to, if you cannot really remove those negative energies or negative people from your life, at least you can trim their influence from your life so that there is less of negativity and more of positivity, which is very, very essential. And that brings me to my next acronym, S, which stands for socialize. I think now more than ever before, we need to communicate, we need to talk, we need to have a conversation. And I know all of you are part of a lot of social media, but you need to go beyond that. You need to be there as a friend, and be that friend who's perhaps just a phone call away. So talk to people, communicate, because it's not just you, but everybody who needs that that helping hand, or maybe just somebody to listen. So communicate. And if you feel there are times when you're not able to talk to people, then just go stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. Having a conversation with yourself is also very therapeutic, where you just looking at yourself and figuring out what you want to do in life. And if not, then it also helps to keep a journal where you sort of jot down things, maybe your plans, your purpose. Think of all the happy things and things that you will do once your exams are over. So, of course, I'm talking about a future date, but there's no harm in thinking and planning. And of course, the last factor in the word stress, S, which stands for sleep. There's a reason why people call it beauty sleep. You need to make sure that you're sleeping on time. You need to make sure that you are getting enough amount of sleep during the night. And if not, at least try to make up for your sleep during the daytime. Maybe take a power nap. That is essential for you, because that will help you function well. It is essential that you keep all these things in mind. So you sit, you train, you relax, you exhale, you socialize, and you sleep. Sleep so that tomorrow when you wake up, it's a better day. You are happier, healthier, more energetic, right? So I would just like to conclude by saying, carpe diem, seize the moment. The moment is now, and the time is yours. Thank you.
What an awesome presentation, ma'am. That was really, really amazing. Some real concrete tips, I must say. And I will watch this after this once more. I need to listen to this, and I'm sure this children will really love all the techniques and the tips that you gave were really amazing, and kept us captivated for those 10-15 minutes. And I'm sure that if we were given more time, I think you could have gone on for some more. I'm sure we'll have many future sessions. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So we are just going to go with our next resource person for the day, Livano ma'am. She is also a teacher in DPS Arkepuram, teaching English. So welcome, Livano ma'am. And I want you to share the fact that, this so much time has gone. Do you think you have some tips and techniques by which the student can still, because of the extension, probably they still have some chance. So I'm sure you're going to share some real good techniques on what should be done now, because pre-boards are also starting. And now there are some schools who are thinking of a double pre-board. So do you think it's going to add on to the stress, or they can manage it well?
Well, thank you, Matthew sir. Good evening, everybody. What the CBSE has decided, or the other boards that have decided, is to go on with the examination. Wonderful idea, because a year long of study, though online, offline, whatever the platform may be, but still, until and unless there is an examination, and a right examination, proper one, that's not the outcome. There isn't any outcome, rather. So students, they have to study, and they have been studying all throughout, but then with a lot of apprehensions in their mind whether the examinations are going to take place or not, that may have taken out that energy, planning what to do. Are they interested or not? So the thing is that now it's now time to act. Whether you are starting with your pre-boards within a couple of weeks or within a week, or then you're going to sit for your final examinations in the month of May, whatever time that you have, you need to put them into those bits, that what you need. See, my esteemed panelists, Meenakshi ma'am and my dear colleague Sudeepta has already told you about timetables, about good sleep, about procrastination. This is the watchword, I must say. You keep on pushing things backward. I'll do it. You ask yourself, when will you do it? You have to act now. So timetable, as rightly Meenakshi ma'am said, that it is according to me. See, now I'm going to share a few things with you, dear students, but then ultimately it is you who's going to take it. See, I myself, I am a morning person. I wake up very early. I like the sunlight. And after 3 days in Delhi, I got to see the sunlight. I was very happy today morning. So it was a nice thing that charged me. But then again, we are not solar panels, isn't it? So we are sitting in front of the sunlight with our doors and windows open in a room, and then things get charged up. Although that red things start making green, so we are charged and we are energized, and just like something Doraemon gives us to Nobita, some gadget, so the sunlight has given us something and we start acting. It's not like that. It's in our mind. So wherever is your study area, first try to declutter, and make sure, children, you are not sitting on your bed. So nice chilly morning, you're sitting on your bed, you think you have your small table on it, and then you doze off. Please don't do that. You are sitting on your table or on the floor, doesn't matter. Make sure, if you are a morning person, make sure you get enough light, you get enough fresh air. That actually helps. And then when you start studying, so there might be a lot of subjects. You may be a 10th grader, you may be a 12th grader. There are different subjects of your choice that you start. And that's what Sudeepta said, that whatever I like the best, I'll sit with that, and then I think that I'll take up the others. No, that really doesn't help. So the thing is, everybody, it's been proven psychologically also, that please do not multitask. You sit with something. Suppose let me take either physics or history, any grade. You are sitting with, you see your examinations is just knocking at the door, and you have 3 more chapters to do and you have no clue about it. Children, please try to understand, there is no concept like this, no clue. You do have it. You have been attending your online classes, you've been attending your tuitions, or whatever other sources that you must be watching the YouTube videos. So you cannot just go blank like that I don't know, I have no clue about it. This is a very, very negative idea. You know it. The only thing is that there's so many information all at a time. You don't know how to segregate that. So once you sit with the chapter, so this is what I'm going to tell you, is use sticky notes. That helps a lot. And in case you can manage some colorful stationery, some red pen, blue pen, blue, obviously you use blue and black, green. If not, doesn't matter. It's okay. Use a pencil and a pen. Take help of your siblings. They must be having some sketch pens. So what are we doing with these colorful pens? So when you are, suppose electricity is the chapter you're sitting with, or causes for the downfall of Mughal Empire, something is just random, something that has always tormented me. So you're using a sticky note. Why? Because this is chapter number 2.1 deals with this particular thing. You are reading, when you are reading, you are making your own notes, and notes means just pointers. Point number 1, this is it, this is what. Suppose some derivation comes in, some formula comes in, write it out there. So once you turn the page, the 2.1 is ready, and you're doing it in pointers. Since you're doing it by yourself, you can remember it very well. So next time, again, just in front of you, just before your examination, so when you are sitting with that, you know what are the things to be pointed out. Maybe if you're using a color pen and something which you can underline with a question mark, that yes, I need to do it again. So this is how when you are, all the entire chapter need not to be done once. So once in a day, like 24, you sit for 2-3 hours at a stretch, And you think per hour, one subject per hour. So this is not a particular tuition class that is going on, or no, neither the timetable that you're following for your online classes. That per hour this to be done. No, you are doing it at your free will. Today I'll finish this chapter. You are finishing it totally, but in chunks. So see, there is something called the Pomodoro technique. So you sit at a stretch for 25 minutes, then you give a 5-minute break. Get a stroll, get a glass of water, stroll around, a glass of water, see what is mama is doing, what your siblings are doing. Done. 5 minutes over, come back again, sit, study again, 25 minutes at a stretch, and now be away from distractions. One distraction I told you, you're not sitting on the bed, that's for sure. And no mobile phones. Switch it off, mute it, whatever, keep it away. So when you are sitting, if it is a CBSE or ICSE, whatever it is, textbook is the Bible. Whatever questions are going to come, it's going to come from there. So reading each and every line very thoroughly definitely will help. So once this 2.1, 2.2, whatever chunks that you have decided is over, go to the questions, take the sample paper, take them beside you, and only try to solve those particular questions that is related to that particular portion that you are doing. It helps. Other than getting a headlong dive, you try it in bits and portions. So multitasking, please avoid. Avoid distractions, no phones, no yes, by the way, sometimes some music related to meditation or that cools and calms our mind, if that can be played at the background, that is entirely your choice. But then again, meddling with, let me see what's next, this should not be the thing. So you should have proper control. You should also have a lot of confidence in you, children. It is not that you don't know anything. As I said, I'm emphasizing it again and again. It's not possible that you don't know anything. The only thing is you have to have that confidence. And everything together, no, when I said decluttering, when you're sitting on your table, whatever you have planned to study, sit with that. Take your book, your copy, your stationery. You don't have colorful stationery, doesn't matter. Your blue pen and black pen is enough. That can solve your problems. So like this, when you move on, you find that ultimately half the battle is won. So when it goes with one subject, it goes with other subject also. So keep on pulling yourself through, and you are definitely going to be a winner. The only thing is, before you start, take around 10 minutes and plan what you want to start. And I suggest whatever you are very much fearful about, or you're keeping it away from yourself, start with that. That helps. So confidence, you have it. Just try to browse in more.
Yeah, Livana ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Go on, please. You're.
Yeah. Am I audible and visible?
Now it's okay.
Yeah. All right. So these are some of the techniques which I have already followed, and it has always worked for me. So as students, when you're appearing for your examination, there is nothing to be petrified about that I don't know. You know it. Just look into yourself. You will get it. All together, jumping onto things, and as Meenakshi ma'am says, timetable according to our own benefit. If I am saying that, okay, you sit for 25 minutes and go for a 5 minutes break, and this starts rotating for 4 cycles, so it's a 1 hour 10 minutes, so total 1.5 hour of study and break. What do you see? That how much have you proceeded? Write it out in a piece of paper that day, that this portion is done. So when you are making a to-do list, how much have you achieved? So that it's a progress bar kind of a thing. This particular chapter, this much done, finished. And especially if you are practicing maths, this 1.5 hour target, it just works for us because you are focusing only on it. So keep your focus right up to whatever you want to achieve, you will achieve it. Believe me, I've been doing it for years. It has worked for me, and if it is working for me, definitely it will work for you. So plan properly. Before you are starting for something, just make sure that what you want to achieve. Every one of us is here to achieve good grades, and you'll get it. This is nothing, it's not a mirage, you cannot have it. It's all within your mind. Think it, you'll achieve it. Best reference books for which subject are you talking about?
Yeah, I think reference books are not.
There's a question. Anjali Mahajan.
Yeah, the private ones we'll avoid.
Really?
As you said,
you are a
the textbook is the best Bible, you said. That is pretty good.
There was another question I wanted to take it up.
Yeah, that was.
Should we start any study work with some exercise before? Study exercising, if you are waking up in the morning, you may start with a bit of a yoga. And then yoga is obviously, it's a proven method to increase your concentration. So start with a simple yoga and then. And I don't know, Anjali Mahajan asked about reference books. Child, I don't know whether I have to call a child Anjali. It is a reference book depends upon your proficiency. Now the thing is you have to face a lot of questions. More and more questions that you face, you become stronger. It is like taking, vitamin tablets. So questions, the more you take them up, the more you solve and you check it, you become stronger. That's it. So be it any reference books, the best is to follow the last year's question paper, the previous year's question papers. That's the best reference. So
thank you, Livano ma'am. Thank you so much. Very good insights into getting enough sleep. Nowadays, students don't sleep. I think they sleep at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and that is become because they're gaming. They're into gaming. They're watching movies, and the whole online thing has. They were already into all this, and we used to wonder why they are so sleepy in class. Maybe our classes are not interesting, but now we have got the real reasons. They are into gaming and all that, and they sleep at 3 o'clock, and they used to come 7 o'clock to school. So lack of sleep, getting adequate sleep was a very good point. And the textbooks, and people, somehow I feel that textbooks are ignored a lot because they feel that, the textbooks are not worth. So there is a lot of issues with the textbooks. They will always look for reference books before doing the textbook. So I think those are very, very valid points. Yeah, great points. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We have got so many such students in our class also.
Yeah, the students, it's a wherever you go, not only in India, I think the world over students are same. So thank you so much, ma'am, for giving your insights. And now we have Rekha Raj, ma'am, with us, who's also going to speak on something very different now. Now, you know that the pre-board exams are going to come, and she's the founder of Tvesha Lighting Tags, and I wanted to know, like, what type of training do you provide? Also, I'm inquisitive, and I think also you are the state president of the Vishwa Sindhi Samaj and all that. So how do you, manage so many things? That is one question. First of all, I want to know more about what kind of training you provide. And secondly, there are students are going for these exams now. Pre-boards are starting, board exams are going to come. So how do you think they need to manage the timing of the paper? Because many times when we give out this reading time is there 15 minutes. I have seen 5 minutes they will read and 10 minutes they are staring here and there. I have never seen anyone really reading for 15 minutes the whole paper. So do you think that there is any strategy which they have to adopt, or adapt before the exams? What kind of mental preparation, or how do you think they can give a good paper? What kind of, there is any diet they have to take, or what type of strategy do you propose? Rekha ma'am, you can unmute yourself and start speaking.
Yes, good evening, everyone. As sir asked me, how do I manage? Clear. So the simple answer for this question is, when there is a will, there is a way. Fine, because time management, ma'am has already talked. We have to manage our time. Like one single sentence, which I felt motivated with, was a single sentence that Einstein or any famous personality has 24 hours. So I decided to go for multitasking. Although ma'am told not to go for multitasking, but again, if you want to achieve, we need to just keep on doing. That doesn't mean doing the things together, all together. Fine. And if we talk about students, how to prepare and everything, I'll just start with saying, children, you are gonna appear in exam. You are gonna appear in exam. So just keep yourself calm, and miracles will automatically happen. If I talk about the methodology to be adopted, I would like to begin with do's and don'ts. I would like to begin with do's and don'ts. Keeping them both together, I would like to share. So the first is say a hi to managing and bye to panicking. Yes, really. We need to say a big no to all what creates anxiety while attempting the question paper. When we attempt the question paper, we have to be very calm, very quiet. We have to manage our time. We don't have to rush from one question to another and then finding out, oh my God, I'm not able to do anything. So time management is at least the most important tool which you have to do while attempting the question paper also. Clear? Hope you must have revised by the time, and if not, at least 5 sample papers. For managing your time, you need to solve at least 5 sample papers before you come and attempt for the question papers, while the real examination you appear in. You know how much, when you solve these question papers, you come to know how much each question requires a time for attempting. It will save your time and energy both. And when planning is done, students, when planning is done, it's really, really, really fun. So no tension would again mention. No tension would again mention. Second thing you should keep in mind is keep your best in and the worst out. Best in and the worst out. Most important is your handwriting, but that doesn't mean that you start writing so legibly in the starting and you go so slow while decorating the things which are answers you are supposed to write, that you are left with something which is like at the end you write something in a way that the examiner cannot read anything what you have written exactly. Clear? So make sure that you are not left with anything. Clear? Make sure that you are not left with anything. And maybe when you give too much of time to each and every question, when you start in the beginning, you may some of the questions you are not able to attempt and your question paper remains incomplete, and then again it creates anxiety in you and you forget. So write legibly. So writing legibly but too much focus seems silly. Writing legibly but too much focus seems silly. And children, it's common you make errors. Fine, we too, when while we speak or while we write anything, we too also make errors. Suppose you have done something wrong. Just simply put a line over it and don't try making out a spider web onto it. Clear? It gives a wrong impression. And again I'll say, also make sure you draw a margin after each and every question. As and when you receive your answer sheet, draw margin lines. And when you complete your question, after each and every question, try drawing a line so that one question is differentiated from the other one. And sometimes what happens, we directly start writing without noticing the commands given before each and every question. So notice the command words. Notice the command words at the beginning of each and every section and read the entire sentence twice. What happens? I've seen students that what they do is they start reading, few words are read by them, and then by the time they reach at the end, they forget. Later on, they regret, oh my God, if do was written, I had attempted, maybe I have attempted true and false for not answer. So please make sure that you have read the full sentence while attempting the question or before attempting the question. Later on, it will not upset you. Being an English teacher, I may help you with certain points to be kept in mind while attempting the English paper I would talk about. The first section which we as an English teacher, which we as an English teacher or you as a student would be attempting would be the reading part. It's not necessary that you should start with the reading, come to the writing, and then literature. Means a sequence should be followed. You should follow the sequence. Students, I would suggest whatever you attempt, read it properly. Read the questions before actually talking about the unseen passage. Read the questions before reading the passage. Clear? Because then, why I'm saying this, because this way you come to know what exactly the information you are looking for, and it will again help you out. So read before answering. It gives you better understanding. Read before answering because it gives you better understanding. Talking about the writing section, the most important point to be kept in mind is to organize. Clear? Keep yourself organized. Organize your thoughts. Organize your thoughts. Stick to word limit. Organize your thought and stick to word limit. How it will happen? This way, your matter, your answer would be fit and hit. Your matter would be fit and hit. Be thorough. Be thorough with all the formats. Why? Because whenever the formats are wrong, as an examiner, if we check the copies, what we do is we just means the first thing which the error we try finding whether the format is correct or wrong, whether it is like completely the child has followed what is taught as a, like for letter writing, for article writing, many things are there. So what we are supposed to do, we have to focus on the formats, thorough with the formats. If forgotten, no worries, last days are there, you can go make your own notes, stick to your own notes, and when you are done till date, if it is done, if not, kindly change your mood, start writing, start practicing, so that you can come up with something which is good for you. And at last, your literature part. If I talk about the literature section, and students, we read the chapters. We read the questions, and suddenly when we reach at the examination center, what happens? We realize, oh my God, I forgot to read the names of the authors. I couldn't learn the name of the authors. Now what? Simply, I'll share a technique with you. Okay. What you can do is have you heard about abbreviated words, magical phrases? You can create your own magical phrases. Means some I can share with you, like suppose your thing of beauty, a poem is there, and John Keats is a poet. Clear? What you can do is John Keats with beauty meets. Means it would be very easy for you to revise. John Keats with beauty meets. Second, I think one more is there. Keeping quiet is a poetry in your 12th standard. You can say Pablo Neruda keeps quiet in Baroda. So same way, you can just create your magical phrases. So at the end, even you can recall them. If you have forgotten, if you do this, if you follow this, create your own learning, and it will surely, definitely is going to help you. Next, I would like to say that if you are supposed to attempt multiple choice questions, what happens? We write the answers. Either what we do, we write the correct answer, but we write the wrong option. We write the correct option, but we don't write the correct statement. So multiple choice. Make sure when you attempt the multiple choice questions, which have options like option 1, 2, 3, or A, B, C, D, whatever. Make sure you write it with correct statement. So no wrong question number. No wrong question number. Always, always, always remember. Options correct. Statements correct. Option also you are supposed to write correct. And statement along with the option you are supposed to write. Next, sequence. If we talk about the sequence, means suppose you have started with the paper. Section A. You are attempting section A. Section A, complete the entire section and then move on to the another section. What students we have seen, what they do, they start attempting the questions from section A, clear, and then they jump over to section C, and then again coming back to section A, and it gives like a chaotic situation, and the paper is not neat. What you can do is complete your one section at a time. If you don't know any answer, just leave space for them. Clear? Just leave space for them. Later on, when you remember, come back to the statements, come back to the vacant space, and you can simply fill that answer as and when you require. So start in a sequence, else will create nuisance. Maybe. And last, what you can keep your 15 minutes, at least 15 minutes you can keep it aside. Why I'm asking for 15 minutes? Suppose accidentally you might have left few questions. So what you can do, when you get those 15 minutes, when you are reading the paper, you can come back and answer. You can come back and answer those questions you might have accidentally left. You get a chance to write them, whatever you have skipped. Okay, so make sure sequence is to be followed. No hurrying up in the question, like while attempting the answers. You have to take care while writing. Write legibly, write neatly. When you complete, go back and read. When you complete, go back and read. Start in a sequence, else it would be a nuisance. Read before answering, as it gives better understanding. As I told, best in, worst out. Make sure to write legibly. But too much focus seems silly. Be careful. Drawing a line, rather making a spider web on it. If something is wrong, simply a single line. Don't make a spider web on it. No wrong question number. Always remember. Hope this helps you in scoring well. Thank you and wish you luck for your upcoming examination. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, ma'am. That was really wonderful to hear this repetition. No, just like we were glued to those repetitions. You repeated so many sentences often, and we could understand what you were trying to say. So a very unique way of presenting, and I'm sure the students are also getting some very good insights today. And now we have,
there is one question. I'll just quickly won't take much time. There is one question.
Please.
There is one question. Somebody has asked like how to read more in less time. So that is indeed wonderful question, and every child would definitely ask this question. I'll just quickly say there is a concept for accelerated learning nowadays. That is, we call accelerated learning, and there can be one full-fledged session on accelerated learning. Okay, for that I can just quickly, because we are having short of time, just quickly give you a few tips. Number one, obviously mnemonics. 5 M's I would like to tell. Number one, mnemonics. They are the wonderful strategy. Okay, learning quickly. And number two, mind maps, or maybe the concept maps, the more detailed one. And the third is you should manage distractions. Okay, you need to manage your distractions and making keywords. Make a note of the keywords. That is another wonderful strategy. And the last very important one, multiple intelligences. You need to know your learning style. If you will be knowing your learning style, you will be learning better and in a lesser span of time. So 5 M's, again, another mantra. 5 M's. I gave you 5 hours. Now it's 5 M's for learning better, learning in a short time.
Great. So everyone has given 5 mantras. Now the beads are full, I think. They have got a good mantra. There's a chain of mantras, and with so many mantras, I'm sure the students and as well as the teachers have got lots of ideas. And we are exactly on time. Exact 1 hour. So started on time, we'll end also on time. Thank you so much, dear panelists, for sparing your precious time and giving this time for our students. And I'm sure we are going to have many more sessions, and I hope you're going to give some time for the benefit of our students and teachers. So thank you once again. Good night. And any last words anyone wants to say, and then we'll call it quits. Any last words?
Sudeep, all the best. And just one more thing just coming to my mind.
Yes, ma'am, please.
This 2020 has given all of us a 20-20-20 mantra. I mean, when you are sitting for 20 minutes for reading, you should stand for 20 seconds. And that time, you should focus for 20 seconds on an object 20 feet away in your room. 20-20 mantra, and that is really going to help you out. If you will be staying fit, then you will be learning more. So please do remember this 20-20-20 mantra.
And one more I would like to add. Avoid distractions, but don't leave interactions. Keep yourself keep yourself encouraged, keep yourself motivated. Wish you luck for the upcoming board exams, and please keep yourself connected with the people who can bring a smile on your face. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rekha ma'am. And I think I named it right. It was really the Guru mantras all the way from the beginning to the end. So I think we will say goodbye to our listeners, and thank you once again for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.